So do I start now?
Yeah.
Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Big Bad-a-thon. And for my first game, we're gonna be doing Bid 10 Cosmic Destruction for the Xbox 360, and I'm joined here with Cobra.
Hello, hello.
And I hope we get started. I hope this is a good one. And yeah. So I control the timer. So timing starts as soon as I press new game. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Woohoo!
And we are off. So our first level we have catacombs. So every time we enter a level, we get to change our aliens. Change Echo with crap, sorry. Alright.
This is already quite an improvement from the game that came out a year before this.
Yep.
The trick he's doing now is something called an AQS, which we'll explain a bit later. But it's only possible because of the ability to quickly switch between multiple aliens, which in the game before this wasn't present.
Yeah. So here I'm using a Stormfire here because it's an overgrowth ability, which takes out a lot of aliens around a 1 point. So it's a really good move when taking out mass enemies. So we're going to be doing our first bounce trick here called Ghost Clip. And this pretty much allows you to clip through ceilings.
Yeah, with Humongous we're able to gain more height as an entity, and through that we're able to make our hitbox bigger and clip through the ceiling of that, which lets us skip one of the first big fights.
Yep.
And normally this would be like a great place to like relax or do something. However, this is just skipped because of
so pretty much
recently.
Yeah, so pretty much we skip all of Ultimate Humongous. So
an ultimate fight is something we have in each and every level. This is one of the only instances where we actually do get to skip it. Another one coming later will be Ultimate Echo, but that's towards the very end of the run.
Yep. And by the way, Echo is a pretty bad alien in this game, so you won't be seeing him too much because we don't like him. You can't even AQS.
Yeah, there's certain aliens which are much better for combat than others, and certain ones which whose their special moves we're able to use for certain abilities. So,
so in this game, we have to defeat all enemies in order to continue. So throughout the run, you're gonna be seeing me doing a few bounce strats to skip some of that. So that's why you're gonna be seeing me defeating every alien, every enemy before I actually before I'm able to continue. But some of those can be skipped if you do certain tricks, which you'll see pretty much spread out throughout this run. And this is my favorite quote right here.
Exactly. So each stage you get to take in 4 aliens as like a base, but you get to switch them out at any point whenever you like. However, in the any % run, we have to be a bit more prepared. And all the points we get have to be put into the aliens whose abilities we want to use.
Yep.
And that's actually one of the main differences between any % and New Game Plus. In any %, we don't have all the upgrades necessary, and because of that, New Game Plus has some tricks we can do that we simply cannot replicate in any %.
Yep.
But yeah, we're going to be doing a little bit of point farming at some point, and Catacombs is actually a good place to do it.
Yep. Because points give you upgrades for aliens, which is very important in any %, because it allows you to not only go faster, but also defeat enemies a lot faster. So that's why we do it so early in Catacombs. And Tailspin has this very nice ability, which racks up a lot of DNA points. So you can upgrade all our aliens even before you reach the first final boss. So here we have a visible wall. Instead of doing that fight below, we can just jump onto this statue, which I missed. I had to go around it because there's a visible wall.
Yeah, so a lot of the walls that were programmed in were made to stop players from simply jumping across. However, it's not always possible to consider every possibility, and it just so happens Terraspin has a flight long enough to be able to reach that and jump over it.
That flight ability is very useful with a lot of these bounce tricks. And making right gaps as well. Makes it definitely the best enemy for like vertical jumps and horizontal jumps as well.
So the next part is a little platforming section, so I'll take the time to explain. This game actually has two different versions. One that came out on the PS3 and the Xbox 360, and another one which came out on a console such as the PSP. And they actually differ quite a bit. The hitboxes can be quite different, and just the physics in general, not always the same. And the AI also behaves quite a bit differently. So, what's quite cool about this game is that both versions are quite different, and some possess skips the other version simply does not have. So this is ran, of course, on the HD version, the Xbox 360, and the difference is actually quite significant between the two.
So
the current world record, however, is done on the PSP emulator.
Yep, the most stable version. So what this section is what I call ghost platforms, and pretty much what you have to do is activate these switches and go on the right one. But what we're doing here, we're actually skipping some of the switches because some of the platforms are not solid unless you activate the switch. So in other words, you have to do the part of the puzzle in order to actually make the necessary platform solid. Here could be upgrade my first alien called Tailspin, and the reason why is because I need his speed in order to do his DNA farm coming up. I don't upgrade his strength because I don't want the enemies to die too fast. But want to do it fast, and doing speed allows you to not only get more, but allows you to do it much faster than just the normal down ability.
Exactly. The point farming is based off of the combo you're allowed to get, and the speed attribute of all the aliens increases the animation speed no matter what actions you're doing, whether it's walking or using an ability or simply hitting someone. And because you also have speed upgraded and you do less damage than if you were to upgrade strength, for example, you can extend your combos and make them quite long, which lets you obtain a lot of points. And in New Game Plus, of course, that isn't that important, but for runs like any percent, where we can upgrade more aliens and get the possibility to do more skips, of course, that's just a deal we can't lose out on. So.
Yep.
We've got one last parkour section before we're gonna end off the first stage with the boss.
Okay. That part is actually pretty tricky. You saw me switch to Echo, and that's only because you need certain aliens to pass certain puzzles. So in that case, I need to turn to Echo in order to actually get past that door.
So there's typically three sizes of aliens. There's the little aliens, such as Echo and Spider Monkey, which have the ability to go into vents. Bigger aliens, which are bigger hitboxes, and those will be quite important, as you will see at some points during the run. And mid-sized aliens, which can grab ledges, as an example, and are generally used for AQSs in a lot of combat.
They're also very mobile as well, so you can do a lot of extra moves with them that you can't do with small aliens or the bigger ones, like Humongousaur. Also known as Fat Guy, and there's a reason why we call him Fat Guy, which you'll find out at the very end of the run. Because we use his fatness for so many tricks.
Yeah, the hitbox of the aliens is quite important, and you're gonna see in a couple locations there's a few tricks we can use to get an advantage, and in a lot of places simply just go out of bounds.
Yep. So this is the DNA farm. Pretty much every time you hit the enemy, you gain a lot of DNA points. Tailspin. Okay, I got hit. Okay. If you get hit, you pretty much lose the combo. So you have to start from scratch in order to do the farm again. So there I got hit very early, which is not good. So I'm going to have to not upgrade a few aliens, which is fine. It only loses a little bit of time.
Yeah, so through Tailspin's ability, it's actually possible to get multiple hits in, and that allows you to get so much more points than if you were to use a lot of other aliens.
Yeah, normally I would be at like 150,000 DNA points right now, but because of my luck and I got hit, it could be a lot less. So here, I go upgrade my aliens here. Water Hazard, Water Whip, and then Speed and Strength. Wall Spout as well. I have to be kind of conservative here just because I don't have enough to upgrade everything off the bat. Good. I barely had enough.
And yes, for people wondering, we are going to have achievements unlocked here all the time.
Yeah.
throughout the run.
This game had a lot of achievements. So I didn't upgrade Humongous fully, but that's okay. I'm gonna be doing a little other farm here. So because I upgrade Swampfire's overgrowth, you notice how much powerful the actual down ability is now. And that's simply because of the upgrades I did with the overgrowth.
Yeah, so generally aliens such as Swampfire and Water Hazard as well as Big Chill, they tend to have AoE abilities which are able to clear multiple enemies in one go. And Water Hazard and Big Chill possess abilities that can even harm enemies through their shield, which Swampfire doesn't have. And later on the run you're going to see that too. As you can see, Terraspin's building up those combos. It's already at 20, so the amount of points he's going to get is going to be quite a lot bigger.
So every time you lay the final hit on the enemy, you do this slow motion thing. So to avoid the slow motion thing from hitting the last enemy in the area, you can quickly change aliens so it will avoid the slowdown.
I see a question in the chat. Did they mention if they can be an alien for unlimited time? Yeah, you can be any alien for as long as you want to.
Yep. And
you switch when there's a better alien suited for the situation.
I'm low on health, so to be safe, I'm just going to destroy these pots.
Yeah, so the bosses actually are rather tough, and it's important to stay healthy, especially at the start when the bosses can harm you and your aliens are unupgraded, and this is very important in runs such as 80%.
Yep.
You can plus not so much though.
Here I go upgrade Humongousaur. I don't know if it's worth it, but his speed and string is kind of weak, so I just go upgrade that just to be consistent with my normal runs. Normally I have enough to upgrade all my aliens that I need to, but in this case it's a little bit low, so that's why I made that little block there. We can see Echo again. And Echo only spawns at one spot. If you try to do a duplication anywhere else in that area, he'll just despawn for no reason. So you gotta make sure you're on that little piece of dirt and spawn him in.
Yeah,
I have no idea why that. Yeah, that's why
that wood likes to stop Echo from spawning.
That's why I don't like. That's why I don't like Echo at all. He's just a pain. So here I actually got unlucky because he did do his duplication thing and spawn for these guys. So he could be able to hit me like more times, and it's hard to actually hit the right one. But pretty much, only one of those guys are real and the others are fake, and you have to hit the real one or it won't count. So that's why I had to aim for the real one there out of the 3 fake ones that spawned. But that was
everyone to France now?
Yep, to Eiffel Tower. So that was a pretty meh Eiffel Tower to my standards. I normally get like my low 111 there. But that was really good Ultimate Humongousaur skip though. So here you take full advantage of Water Hazard's movement and perform these very cool movements here. Including the kick.
Known as some of the most overpowered maneuvers in all of gaming history, I would say.
I believe that's actually the fastest way to move in this game is with Water Hazard's kick. Or really a kick from any alien. Boom, another achievement, Art War. Alright, so we have a lot of combat coming here.
So, speaking of combat, the left bar we possess over here is our health bar, and the one on the right is our energy meter, and the abilities, they expend the energy meter, and we can get that meter back simply through attacking enemies. And that's very important if you're trying to clear large groups of enemies, you're going to have to use your AoE attack.
Yep.
And proceed with a few spams of simple auto attacks to refresh your meter.
And it does come back once you're not in combat. Like the blue ball comes back automatically if you're not in combat. So that's good. That's why you're able to AQS a lot. So here, go to stand right here to despawn a enemy. Oh, I failed it, but if you stand where enemy is going to spawn, he will actually never spawn. So it's a good idea to stand exactly where enemy is going to spawn, and that is very useful when going on to the shield guys later on this run. But you can see me doing that quite a few times throughout combat in general. And there goes the knight. We're about to enter the museum.
Yeah, the inner part of the castle is actually rather large and takes quite a bit of time to do normally. I say normally because we're going to skip each and every puzzle in the first large room.
Yep.
This would normally take you a good few minutes to go around and play around with Water Hazard and his water abilities to flip some switches no one cares about.
So instead, we're
going to take a little detour.
And just use tailspin and fly over everything. So when you're traveling out of bounds, you have to be kind of careful not to fall into the void below. Because if you do that, let's just say you're gonna have a very fun time resetting the game. So you have to be careful not to fall down. And you also have to be careful not to go too far into a level, because if you do that, the game will freeze. So you have to make sure you're kind of careful of where you go and how much you skip. To make sure you collect all those checkpoints necessary to load the next area of the game. It's confusing.
In a lot of places, there's no death planes when you fall, so if you fall out of bounds, it's quite likely you'll be falling forever, and you have to either restart the run or just the level.
Yeah. In my case, you'll just restart up to the next the latest save point. So another thing I love about Water Hazard, he has this amazing spray ability, which is the lift ability. And you're about to see why I love it. So if you go close to them, oh, you got lucky here, they kind of separated. Okay, fine. But normally what will happen is, if they both were together, you go right up to them, you can actually just spray them, and they'll just get knocked out quickly. But I got lucky here. I could use Swampfire now.
So, while we're on the topic of bosses, there's two bosses in each and every stage, and one of these bosses will be a normal fight with Ben and his aliens, and the other one will be a fight with his ultimate alien. For this stage, it will be Swampfire. And the next one we're going to have Ultimate Spider Monkey, and this switches throughout the game. The good thing about ultimate fights though is that these fights are very, very easy, unlike the ones where we play as just Ben, and it's nothing really to fear. However, any percent can be quite scary if you choose not to upgrade your aliens and take a riskier route.
Yeah. So I call this TV news skip because we get to skip this guy who kind of talks bad about Ben. So we get tired of him, so we're just going to skip pretty much just skip him.
Yeah, shoutouts to Cuba who found this. It's like a 2-minute cutscene skip at least, and the cutscene's completely unskippable, so...
And plus the news is boring anyway, so we don't need to see that.
Okay, so we spoke about hitboxes and why they're vital to this run. Well, if we go into a small area with a small alien or person and switch to a bigger alien, we can do a moon jump that sends us flying. Now this sends us flying and skips not only a fight, but also a really long cutscene, and this whole chase throughout this burning building.
Yep.
So and this trick we use at many different points throughout the run. Will harangue.
You have to be careful there. Oh, okay. I was saying I had to kind of go slow there because there's things that will hurt you in there. So that's why I died. There's a lot of visible things going on since you're not doing that properly. So fortunately I did take the death there. Which is fine. That's why I kind of forgot to get some help before doing this.
But yeah, physics in this game are questionable at best.
Yeah. And there you go. NRG just busts through the wall. And in case you're wondering, you're supposed to do all that with NRG because he's actually immune to fires. So that's how you're supposed to get through that. We have ultimate Swampfire coming up here.
Yeah, and with that we're already almost finished with the second stage of the game. So since there's a cutscene playing now, I think we can take the time to explain the story of this very, very good game. Sponge, do you know it, or would you like me to?
Honestly, I only know part of it, so you can explain it.
Alright, well, there's an artifact that's been destroyed and scattered across many different areas in the world, and because of that, we're bent on this mission to recover all these pieces of the artifact. And well, the artifact's going to be very important for us, and of course, because it's in different places, we travel to different places. We're going to have the Great Wall of China coming up soon at some point. We're going to be in Tokyo. Right now we're in Paris. And our mission is to recover all pieces of the artifact.
And we're doing that to take out the evil way big at the end.
Yeah, but Ben 10 has some pretty interesting lore in this game.
Yeah.
It's actually funny. Before the other run I had in different marathon, I had to go back and I had to watch each and every cutscene to figure out what the lore of this game actually was, because honestly, if you ask anyone of this game, they probably wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah. We are now Ultimate Swampfire, which is this blue flaming guy, which is ironic for a tree. But anyways, our goal is to pretty much just spam this villain right here until he dies. So like most Ultimate Alien fights, you only had to defeat this one boss guy instead of take out all the other enemies around you. So I just ignore everyone and just spam these projectiles at him. The nets you see me try to escape, those are completely random, and you just have to hope that you don't shoot too many of those. Right now I think that was my third one. Most times I normally get like 2 or 3. So sometimes I get better luck than other times.
Yeah, it's important to keep your distance because the missiles are homing, but if you're a bit too close, they seem to be able to drift off into different corners.
Yeah, just have to use your judgment pretty much there. And there's also Eiffel Tower. And the tower itself is about to, doesn't look too good.
Question in chat, do you even take damage as Ultimate Alien? You know what's funny is I actually can't really answer that because...
You do, but...
Even if you do, it's very little and very minuscule.
Yeah, you have very strong resistance when you're Ultimate Alien. So it's like you don't take in any damage, honestly. Like, I can't recall me ever dying in the Ultimate Alien section.
Stinky Savior achievement unlocked.
Alrighty, so we're on to the Devil's Tower, and honestly, I don't know where this takes place at, but pretty much we have to invade this little base here and take out an enemy here. Oh, okay, well. So yeah, that's a nice little elevator jump.
That was a rather nice jump.
I guess Humongous Soul actually gives you a lot more height than I expect. I know you use Water Hazard, but this time I decided to use Humongous Soul, because why not? We're about to do this first puzzle here, minecart, this minecart pot thingy. There are ways to actually skip this whole puzzle, which I do not know how to do. But I found a few ways to do it on all versions, including 360, but I haven't really practiced too much with it, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, there's a trick here. Walking up this ramp we're at right now, you can actually use Echo, and if his speed is upgraded to the max, and this only works in New Game Plus, you actually can just get launched up this ramp and onto this contraption we're about to pull right now, and you can land on top of it and then clip yourself over the mountain.
Yep, pretty much. And saves like I'll say a minute and a half or so. And there you go. This goes to minecart, and to the mines we go. Now we're gonna do another ghost clip. Shout out to Ghost, of course. Right on this minecart.
Ghost's actually in the chat right now for people watching this live. So if any questions you guys have, I'm sure he's already answered them.
Right.
Shoutouts to Ghost, by the way. So yeah, so the AI is rather terrible, and it's programmed in the same way quite often. We actually can jump on top of their heads.
Which is funny.
Many different places.
Which makes the enemies kind of friendly, actually, than you think. Some of these tricks would not be possible without them.
Yeah, you have to learn kind of how the AI moves, because otherwise you'd be having quite a bit of trouble with these tricks. And you could be spending like a minute here just fumbling around.
Okay, okay. So that trick's pretty hard. pretty much you just skip 2 battles just for doing that. But if you fail it though, you pretty much have to start all that all over again. So it's one of my least consistent tricks for sure. Now you have
Time
this
for
boulder
the
part.
Indiana Jones section.
Yeah, if you touch that boulder in any possible way, you have to do all of that all over again, including the skip again. So it's very important that I don't get hit by these.
Yeah, the boulder is a insta-kill if you get hit.
Yeah.
And it's also quite often where new runners would definitely lose a bunch of their time.
Yeah. And also it's kind of unfair too, because you can even see the platforms coming up. So you can, if you're not careful, you can easily fall into platforms without fall into holes without even knowing they're there. So I could call that kind of a cheaty area, which I don't think should really exist in this game, but it does. So up next we have Ultimate Spider Monkey. So here is a pretty much a normal Ultimate Alien section where you have to defeat all the enemies.
Achievement unlocked.
Yep, Brawler. And the game froze, okay.
Okay, right, so I guess since the game is frozen right now, while Sponge reloads everything, I'll take the time to explain why the game likes to crash so often.
That actually happened the exact same place while in practice as well. That's actually kind of funny.
Right, so the game actually has multiple reasons as for why it can crash. We think, though, it's quite often to do with how entities spawn and how the game likes to load certain things. One common area, for example, where the game will definitely crash. In the very first stage, there's like these platforms that are raised from the ground, and if you use Big Chill to freeze the enemy, that used to be a common strat back then. If you freeze them too quickly before they like leave the underground, they can get frozen underground, and once that little area is deloaded, with an entity still inside it, the game gets terribly confused and just chooses not to cooperate anymore.
In that case, I have no idea why the game froze there, but I think it's because I'm doing something a little bit different that I normally don't do before, so I think that's what's causing it, but it's definitely a new location worth investigating. So let's hope that doesn't happen again. So pretty much because because the game did freeze there, it didn't even say my checkpoint, so I have to do this very scary trick all over again, pretty much, which sucks.
And what he just did, jumping over that, if you fall down at any point into that large open area, you are fully soft locked.
Yep.
You need to quit the game and restart.
Pretty much.
Because there's no way back.
I just being very focused here, these boulders, because these boulders, you just don't want to die to them.
Yeah, the camera doesn't make it any easier either.
Yeah,
Moves so slowly.
the camera really does suck there. So, by the way, I froze the game one of the worst areas in the game, in the whole run, because now you have to do all of that each time you freeze here. So it's a pretty terrible area. Loses like 3 minutes or so. I won't be surprised if the game freezes here because of the camera angle. That won't be too surprising to me. But it has something to do with how the enemy spawns, I believe, though, and the cutscene.
It's also possible to install the game to your hard drive if you're playing on the Xbox, and that has seemed to reduce the amount of crashes I got when I was testing the game for the first time. One thing, though, however, is that areas load differently. So I did receive some weird glitches where things load very differently. If the game is playing either off disk or off the hard drive, so...
I honestly didn't even know that. I didn't know there was a difference between playing on the desk in terms of the game loading.
Yeah, before you'd get like the game would stop and it would tell you the game is reading off the disk, and then it would proceed to load the area. Whereas if it's playing off the hard drive, it has a much easier time. And actually that led me to like clipping through ceilings and floors I'm standing on because the game just deloads them, or like I get to areas before I can load it.
Yeah, this game mechanics works in a very interesting way which I can't describe.
There's a question in the chat. The AQSs is something we're going to explain in the Great Wall, which is the 4th level after this.
Great Wall
It's a vital part of this run, and both for any percent and for New Game Plus, and it's our main movement tech. Actually, I think I can take the time to explain it now, to be honest.
Well, yeah, why not?
Right, so what you can see right now, he is using an ability as Spider Monkey, which launches him forward. Normally it's an attack. And as we all know, special attacks require the energy meter. However, this attack, with the little dash, this takes energy off of our meter at the very end of the animation. What does that mean for us? Well, actually, we can use this ability, you can utilize the dash, and then switch off of the alien, so that it doesn't consume any ability points. And if we switch off the alien and onto Ben, and then back to that alien, and spam the ability with the dash, we're able to get like these long leaps across the map without spending any points, and it's much, much faster than walking. Especially if you have an alien whose speed attribute is upgraded to the max.
Alright, so one thing I forgot to mention about Ultimate Spider Monkey, there's actually is a way to skip him, but it is a Wii and PSP exclusive, and that is because there's actually a boulder right by the water wheel that isn't solid, which you would use, and the slope jump by the water wheel as well doesn't seem to work. So there's actually no way to skip it on 360. But it'll be a very good thing, because not only that you skip that potential crash, you also save quite a bit of time by skipping that puzzle and the fight. So that was a huge
Sponge, I'd like to congratulate you on the cropping of the timer. It appears we're 80 minutes into the run.
I don't even know how that happens, but hey. Okay. So they are trying to do a very precise angle kick there, and that allows you to skip that entire puzzle down there, saving good 30 seconds or so. One of the first tricks I actually learned in this game.
81 minutes right now. We're on world record pace. Yeah, why wouldn't a Big Bad Game-a-thon have a scuff timer?
Yeah. So the problem with the thing with water hazard is that if you use your water whip, it actually pushes the aliens, unlike a Big Chill and Swamp Fire. So you have to make sure you actually aim at the correct direction, so you won't actually push them away from where you don't want them to be pushed. So that's why using water hazard is a little bit harder for combat than Swamp Fire or Big Chill. So we have this very boring and tedious Humongousaur part where we have to power up all these generators, and so this white guy right here who's using machine on the left can actually I didn't even say that, so he can activate the computer to open the door. And this guy is very powerful. You saw him like really walk through all those enemies without even knowing they're there, so he's very strong.
Yeah, so this is actually, for the runners, this part is one of the most hated in the whole run, but if you know how to utilize your time correctly, this is the perfect place where you can take a quick bite out of your sandwich if you got one prepared for the run. Yep, the run is quite long, so if you want like a nice drink of your water, or, you know, like grab a bite of your sandwich, this is the perfect time to do it.
There actually is a way to skip this, kind of, but it is not consistent at all. I never gotten it before, but apparently you can actually do a super jump on the left generator there and jump over the super high walls and actually make it past that door. But like I said, it's very precise and not consistent at all, so let's hope that is a thing one day, so we can just bypass this room and avoid him having to open the door and all that. Yep, all of that just to power up that computer, I guess, to open that door. We're about to approach our level's boss fight here, the final one. But before we do that, we must save, in case something goes very wrong. So here I could use Humongousaur, because he deals a lot of damage. The most out of any aliens that I tried.
Yeah, so this boss has 3 different attack patterns he can use. He can shoot us with his bullets, throw grenades like this attack now, and also he can shoot these little mini rockets that track us.
Yeah. The best case scenario is the I would say is the bombs you throw, just because you don't have to dodge it. Because if you shoot the missiles, you do actually have to react to it, or you will get hit. And the
It's
red,
also possible they don't hit you though.
yeah, and the red lasers, I would say, is also kind of bad unless you're like angled correctly to actually avoid it. So yeah, in other words, it's pretty much a little bit based on luck if these things hit you or not. And then we're just going to use our shoulder charge and just get rid of this guy. Or not. Okay, there you go. I got him. Right as soon as he threw the smoke bomb, I got him. That was pretty pog. So that's it for Devil's Tower.
With the Devil's Tower.
That was actually a really good one. Except for that crash, that was pretty much what you want to see. At least I would say.
Welcome to China, everyone.
Welcome to China. We are traveling along the Great Wall of China. Well, kind of.
Okay. Here's a game I played last time with the chat. So, chat, you've seen a few bosses of the game already. So, I'd like your guesses in the chat. What would you expect to be the final boss of this stage? Now, keep in mind we're in China right now. We're on the Great Wall. So, put your guesses in the chat. Who or what is the final boss of this stage? And we'll see what happens.
Yep, we will.
Alien Sun Tzu. That's a really, really good guess.
It could be. That's a good one.
Winnie the Pooh, Pikachu, Ronald McDonald. These are some very good guesses, guys. I must say. The concept of liberty. Dragon.
So here just pretty much combat. I mean, we use Big Chill to glide through each platform, and go use Swamp Fire, of course, to take out enemies, a lot of enemies in a close proximity. But any more guesses for the boss fight here?
I can start reading them for you.
Yeah.
One of them is Liu Kang, Colonel Sanders, Bruce Lee, Kung Fu Panda.
Kung Fu Panda. That's actually a really good guess, actually.
Yeah, chat.
Actually like that a lot. Actually like that one a lot. So this area lags a lot just because of all the stuff everywhere. So that's why the game actually lags here. It's not the stream, it's just the game. And I try not to use too many accuracies here, just because I don't want the game to lag too much. And cause the floor to deload or anything like that. And yes, that actually has happened to me once before.
Did it get cold in here, or is it just me?
That flame is blocking me. So sometimes with these fires, you have to make sure you put them out, or or your projectiles could get blocked. So hopefully this works this time. There we go. So yeah, that's a very stupid mechanic, I think. Anyways, we're about to approach one of the biggest skips in the entire game, called Cobra Skip. And this pretty much allows you to skip, like, I would say 70% of Great Wall. Maybe a little bit less, but it's huge. You skip so much.
Yeah, it saves a significant portion of this level.
Yep, around like 5 minutes, roughly. By far the biggest skip in this whole entire game. Oh, look at those look at those stone dragons there. That looks pretty cool.
And one of the cool thing about the skip, it's one of the first that was found in this game. And it's been found a few years ago. But this one's really, really big in comparison to some of the other ones. Yeah. But you look at some of these skips that have been found, and you really wonder, like, how, like, would someone have the patience to just sit there and jump at a wall for, like, minutes on end?
Yeah, I can imagine this was what they were doing if they want to find this. Okay, why not making this? So pretty much you have to get this
Look a bit
very
more left.
precise jump in order to actually get this. Okay, there you go. The
Super.
reason why I wasn't making that is because I wasn't slope jumping enough. We could explain slope jumping in a bit, but it's a very important mechanic. It allows you to gain a lot of height. Now we're on to Big Chill, Ultimate Big Chill.
The one... Wait, this one is Water Iron Man. Thank you, Chet.
There we go, we froze him.
Aren't most skips like that found on our first try and then replicated taking forever?
Yeah. So this is the trick that I have theorized.
Some are.
Can I please? Okay, one of those guys go close together, but that's okay. Don't need to be perfect, but Ultimate Big Chill skip is a thing, but it is a Wii exclusive. So the reason why it doesn't work on 360 and PSP is because on PSP you can switch aliens, and on 360 the side pills there are moved out away from the wall, so you can't perform super jump in order to jump over that wall. So so it only works on Wii, and it saves like, I don't know, like a minute or two off this guy. So it was a very big disappointment that I find out that it doesn't work on any other versions except for Wii. And the reason why I don't actually run this on Wii is because the controls are very bad for AQSing, and also the game freezes all the time. So I don't touch that version when speedrunning. The game crashes enough on 360.
That is very true.
Yep. So Big Chill, he is so cold that the friction or whatever turns his wings into literally fire and flames. So it's definitely an interesting ultimate alien for sure.
That was a very scientific explanation you just gave there. I'm surprised. But yeah, Wii has terrible controls. I would not recommend that on my worst enemy to run this game on a Wii.
I don't know how it's like on the Pro Controller though. That might be your go-to if you plan to run this on Wii. And there you go, we're about to take out the last Caratato warrior here, the final boss. Not the final boss, the level's first boss. And there he goes with one Mega Punch. Now, this is when things get interesting. So if I either die or something happens, I have to do all of that again. The Cobra skip, all the way down to this boss fight and up to the level's final boss. So it is very important that I don't actually die here, because if I die here, I don't even want to think about that. So
Achievement unlocked. Stone Cold.
So here we have setting up fan skip, and fan skips allows you to skip all this fan puzzle stuff. And there's actually different versions of it. I'm doing a kind of fast version of it, not the fastest, but a semi-fast version. And that allows you to skip having to do all these fights and activate all the fans. So want to explain a bit about shield guys?
Yeah, so there's a few different enemy types in the game. Shield guys, however, are the trickiest to deal with, because shield guys, if they are attacked, they will just counterattack you and smack you. And it's not about the health that you lose, it's about the time and the combo. And there's two ways to deal with shield guys. They can either be counterattacked, which you can do for anyone, but you need to do specifically for shield enemies, or you can use either water hazards or Big Chill's AoE attack to get rid of them.
So in my case, I use Swampfire's Overgrowth, which may not be the best way to take them out, but it's definitely the most consistent way that I've found so far. But there's a lot of testing to be done in this game yet. This is not even close to, I would say, the fully optimized run. And this is fan skip. Pretty much do this epic slope jump with Terraspan. If you go up a wall and jump at a specific time, you can actually do something called a slope jump, and that allows you to gain a lot of extra height. and that's how I got a lot of these got on top of a lot of these tall platforms. So it's very useful, and I would say mandatory if you plan to run this game. Oh wait, about to reach the boss.
Yeah, well, back to our guess. Well, we had aliens and enemies. Well, in the Great Wall, they're like, you know what, we're in China, we're just gonna drop in a dragon for Ben to fight.
Yep, and he's actually one of the most famous bosses in this game. This is, I would say, the most memorable, at least the one I remember the most. So pretty much to defeat this dragon, he has 2 cycles, and your goal is simply just to defeat him. I mean, but he is overpowered. He is flexible, so he is going to do a lot of these tricks here. Oh, there you go. Why did they just skip a cycle? So instead of him having to shoot his fireballs, we just attacked him and skip that little tiny cycle there.
You know, actually, I'm a bit disappointed with the bosses in this game. Like the first boss in Vilgax Attacks, they just got a smoothie and enlarged him, and you've had to fight a giant smoothie cup. I was pissed off at you.
Oh.
Anyway, here's phase 2 of the boss fight. This one can go one of 2 ways. So there's actually a way to kill the dragon faster if you are able to hit the target with Amphibian and AQS another one really quickly. We just call that Fast Dragon.
Right. So I kind of missed it here, although I did get the pound 2 times. So I am going to do another cycle of him. But if I able to, I think it's a timing thing. If I able to like spam the target multiple times within the 3 rows, you can actually just instantly kill him in 1 cycle. But it's very hard just because, I don't know. I only know the timing, so that's probably why.
This, however, is also a lot easier on New Game Plus because Amphibian's speed is upgraded, so he shoots faster too.
Oh, a very bad mistake there. I fell into lava, so I'm almost dead. By the way, it's okay for me to die here because I already passed the checkpoint, but it still sucks a lot. But what happened is I somehow got slid off and I fell into the lava and almost meet my doom. So I would say I was a good Great Wall than that, though. Nothing too terrible. Except me not be able to get Cobra Skip for like 30 seconds.
But yeah, guys, we're officially halfway through the run. There's only 4 more levels left to go.
I go to be switching Tailspin with Water Hazards just because of his flexible movement. And it makes this level a lot more faster. Because he can make a lot of gaps with his kick. Ah.
They're so fast at running. They went from 81 minutes to 46. You know it.
That's Pog.
That's what's up.
It looks like you can use the scaffolding to get to the next building.
Oh yeah, so this wall's very cool. They programmed in this ledge, and normally you're supposed to take this big barricade down, but you can just climb through it.
Yep, just like that. So it's like it's not even there. It's like a ghost. On PSP, you can actually do a completely different strat that skips all of this. But that is a PSP exclusive because in 360 and even Wii, they removed that that extra invisible platform, so you can't really do it on any other versions other than Wii.
It looks like the power is out. Find a way to restore the power so that you can use the crane.
But yeah, Tokyo Knights is level we have to use a lot of armor drill for to move the cranes. Yeah. Generally speaking, the levels require, and hard require, normally at least 2 aliens, potentially 3, and the last one is nearly always optional. And we need to kind of map the aliens out so that we always have a good variety in what we have and what we want to use and what's optimal. So for this level, for example, we need to use Armadillo. That's just a given.
I almost got him. What happened though is that this shield guy went out of my range, so unfortunately I was able to get him with my full blast, so he escaped death. But that would have been a really good fight if he actually didn't move like that. So what I'm trying to do is run up to the shield guy and try to blast them the closest as I can, so I don't worry about doing all the counter stuff. So that's why I've been like running up to the shield guys, hopefully to get them the full blast of water hazard.
Yeah, we're just farming this game on multiple profiles to get as much gamer score as we can with these achievements, guys.
Yep. I actually lost track of how many achievements we actually get in this game.
Quite a bit.
And bingo, Cooper will come running.
What?
Don't look at me like that.
Use the web pull to bring that scaffold closer.
I
Telling you, my perfume idea would be a lot faster.
Can
Yeah,
you still get
Kevin-
gamer score in 360 games? I don't know, I just seen that in chat, so I said it.
Oh. Kevin is a very funny guy. If you saw him with the Gwen perfume thing, very smart. Especially in the last game, Benton Alien Force. He's even more smarter in that game.
Yeah, Kevin has some funny lines in this game.
Oh, I forgot to change. Lol. I kind of messed up the alien selection there, but it's okay.
That's perfect, you did it perfect.
Yep.
So, what happened there, guys, is there's a box directly to the right, and we want to walk into that little space and switch to Terra Spin. He has a very large hitbox, and that gives us just enough of a boost to be able to go on top of the level and climb that huge wall. Then we simply die next to that checkpoint and we respawn right before the boss.
Alright,
So whoever said Ronald McDonald, you would have been right if you said it on this stage.
so you were so close.
So close. Whoever said that in the chat, you get a pat on the back.
Alright, so someone remind me, I need to use X to reset my aliens when I reach the Cooper boss fight, because normally I select them one by one, which is slow, but for the first time I want to use the X button so I can save that second of not having to select each alien. So let's hope I do that. So this is another Ultimate Alien section. This is Ultimate Spider Monkey. So unfortunately the game does have a chance of freezing again, but it's pretty much the same thing except go taking out Wall McDonald's here.
What other horrors are tucked away in here? Well, you're gonna have to see.
You'll see. And these buttons, you have to go fast and make sure you press the right button, because if you press the wrong button here or wait too long, you have to do it all over again. So you just have to hit the right button. And yeah, I think energy is much faster there based on what I just saw there.
Yeah, the other aliens have longer animations, and energy seems to just
Yeah.
completely walk through whatever happens.
He has a solid shell because he had to keep that nuclear, whatever that is inside of him, secured, so that's why. So pretty much gonna be taking out the Donalds here. So there you go.
Okay,
So all I had to do here is spam his down ability, because remember, Ultimate Aliens don't ever run out lows, never get the blue bar lowered, so you can pretty much just spam him all the time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's also important to note, is that we don't use our ability gauge. But yeah, now with Ronald McDonald defeated, we can continue on and save the world.
So this is the I call the slope jump. That's one of the harder ones because you have to do it at the Pacific time. Got first try there though.
Right, well, this next section is not terribly interesting to talk about, so I'll take this time to maybe talk about what a slope jump is. If you stand on like completely flat ground, you get what is called a normal jump. However, if you're on a surface that is going upwards, your upwards momentum is carried into your jump. Well, what does that mean for us? That means that if we're going up a slope and jump, we can jump higher than as if we were going to be standing on flat ground. This, however, works both ways, so if we're going down a hill and we jump, we don't jump nearly as high as if we're standing on normal flat ground.
Yeah.
So, in certain areas, if there's like little pieces of like pottery on the ground or whatever,
Or just
that is
little
left
pieces
over,
of debris.
or debris, if you walk over that debris and get a little boost in height, if you time your jump perfectly, you're able to get a jump much higher than as if you were simply standing on flat ground.
There you go. So yeah, that's what you call Cooper skip, which I did not do. But the reason why you can't do Cooper skip in this one though is because if you do it on 360, want to guess what happens to the game?
I'll let you guys take a guess.
Just a
Starts
wild.
with F. It starts with F and ends in Reese's.
That's a pretty big hint here. So I just messed that up. What I'm gonna be doing here is actually gonna be kind of breaking this boss's cycle. So normally you have to do this very definitely, but because of Tailspin's gliding ability, you can pretty much just skip half of his cycles. So if I stop falling off here, I can actually showcase this. There we go. So right now, this is not supposed to be happening. This red laser is supposed to be deactivated. And this claw not so even supposed to be attacking me yet. But because I did a skip, things gets a little bit weird. And you will know this if you play this game casually.
Yeah, so for you guys, that like Cooper is not actually supposed to be shooting his laser right now. We skipped a whole arm on the left. And when you reach that arm, it's supposed to, you know, let you fight the arm alone, like peacefully. But we didn't hit the trigger that makes him stop attacking, so he's just gonna keep attacking and not care about us.
Pretty much, and he's shooting at nothing, believe it or not. Oh yeah, by the way, did you did anyone guess the what happens if you do Koopa skip? And there you go, we saved, yes, saved Koopa here. Because he got kidnapped by this, by Ronald McDonald here. Beautiful.
God, this game. I don't even know what happened or why he was kidnapped.
Because...
And why Ronald McDonald was there in the first place.
I think he was trying to use his power or something like that, or absorbed it. It's something like that, I can't remember, but... something to that effect.
For any fans of the show, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I haven't watched Ben 10 in so long. So right now we're in Brazil. We're in the Amazon rainforest. And our goal here is you're going to be breaking into a base. Come on. Good. You're going to be breaking into a base. And you're going to be doing it in a very funny, unattended way. We'll just leave it to that.
So, a cool thing that Sponge didn't actually mention what he just did, he defeated 2 enemies, and after that, another enemy was supposed to spawn, but Sponge knows exactly where that enemy spawns, and he placed himself in that exact point, which stopped the enemy from spawning and caused the door to open a bit faster.
Pretty much, and you see me do that quite a bit in this one, actually. Because it's very useful when, especially against the shield guys. Imagine skipping an entire shield guy, just because he walked where he's going to spawn. Saves quite a bit.
This enemy, he was a little bit too late though.
By the way, guess your least favorite enemy in the game, or less favorite alien in the game.
Your least favorite?
Least favorite, yeah. Because he's just not really useful, and he can't spawn his other guy without despawning him.
What, Echo?
Yeah, Echo. Especially in Catacombs. Cool. And this level boss fight, it's just... honestly kind of sad.
So chat, we're gonna take this time. Let's do a little head count. Name your favorite Ben 10 alien in the chat, and then we'll see what the viewers say. And yes, before you say anything, it can be from the first season or from Alien Force. I'm gonna start with my one, so I'm gonna name Big Chill in the chat.
Oh, Big Chill. I like Diamond Head a lot, though. Oh, crap. Okay, I forgot about the sniper. So pretty much you have to actually wait for him to shoot, or you pretty much will just shoot you mid-air and just kill you. So you're actually kind of important that you wait there. So you see here, this is what's supposed to happen. It's slow, stupid, but I mean, hey, they treat them very well.
The one that looks like the thing from Fantastic Four. I don't even know what one that could be.
I don't know.
The fire guy? Could it be that one?
Heat Blast?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe that's what it was meant.
Oh yeah, we just did a super jump and we just do something called echo skip, and that allows you to skip the entire echo drawbridge puzzle and go right into the ultimate alien section. All right, so this is where I have to focus really hardly on this. So I'm gonna be very quiet here and see if I can get this first try.
Alright, well, I'm gonna take this time to disturb you and tell everyone what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, this is Ultimate Echo. He's also known as the Blue Beatbox. And here what we're utilizing are slope jumps and the length which he traverses with that launch is incredible. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna take it outside the map. We're gonna do a little jump here. This one's rather tricky because you can very easily fall off.
I got it.
Good job.
Raise the blast shield before you disable
And that was a blind fall into the next area. Now you're not supposed to be Ultimate Echo in this part. So we're gonna go and save the game real quick.
the door's locked.
And
So,
goodbye.
So that was a very clean ultimate echo skip.
Good job.
And the hardest part there is honestly is spotting in that the hallway with the machine guns in it, and actually landing on the platform. Because if you do that wrong, you just fall into the void. So that's why that's a pretty hard and scary trick to do.
Yeah,
Glad it was
was
a
so
first
good.
try.
We're at 30 seconds now on the timer.
Oh wow, this is
You're
the best
unbelievable.
one ever. This might world record.
This is actually on pace to be world record.
Yeah, by
What the
over
heck?
30 minutes. Okay, try to do what you call it, ghost clip, and I'm having trouble with it. That's not good.
Are you sure
There
you're not
you go.
supposed to be Spider Monkey?
No, because we had to do echo instead because the game wants us to become echo. So unfortunately, we have to be him. But don't worry, this is the last time you see echo, the very last time. Oh, look at that! We're at 1 minute and 19 seconds.
Oh, so also this is like this terribly long section of like this rocket that was going to destroy the whole like universe and things, and like if you mess up one part of it, it puts you to the very beginning of the stage, and it's so long and so unnecessary, and like there's all these puzzles and climbing. But if you go slip out of that room and take a nice little flight around with the rocket, nothing happens. So
So this boss,
I almost forgot to mention it.
yeah, I call that silo skip and warhead skip because of it skips the the warhead room and the missile silo part. So that's a pretty cool skip. Now this is the my least favorite boss in the game because A, you have to become echo, and B, these guys, you have to let them this fat guy hit the back wall, because if he doesn't, nothing happens. So a lot of things go wrong, like an echo clone getting away, or I take too long in this case. So I don't really like this boss. My strategy is to keep it farthest back towards the back wall as possible. So when he has to dive, he dives into the wall like that. So that's kind of like how you have to do it. I'm bad at this boss, so I don't like it, but hey, it's there though.
Probably my least favorite boss in the game.
Same. And now you know
He
why.
just missed the wall.
See, I don't know why that happens though. It's like it's so random, honestly, that he hits the wall, he gets blocked
God,
by
thank the Lord.
the ear.
Okay, GG boys, we made it.
Yep, we're at 3 minutes right now. Well, in this
Yeah,
case,
we're
an
at
hour
3
and 3 minutes.
And the achievement unlocked, trying to be cool right now.
Yep. And we're on to Colosseum, one of my favorite levels to play, because we do so much out of bounds stuff. You won't believe your eyes.
Yeah, and this is the second last level of the game.
Yep. Does anyone want to guess what the final level is? The name of the final level?
Actually, where does the final level take place? Is
In
it back
Tokyo.
Japan?
It takes
Oh, yeah.
Tokyo. Because
Actually, maybe I don't know. Maybe the devs just because the Colosseum right now, it's a like reuse of probably the same assets from the Catacombs.
yeah, so
So I
I
wouldn't
think
be surprised if they just ran out of time and like the last two levels are like repeats of the skyboxes and the assets from the old levels, but whatever.
yeah. It probably just ran
Just
out of
occurred
time,
to me.
something.
So another ghost clip which lets us skip a nice fight and a little room.
So
This way,
this
there's actually a lot of out of bounds in this, and it's hard to cover all of them.
that skip right there with the turntable that we just skipped saves like over, I would say, 2 minutes because you skip a whole long puzzle. So that's why that's a very big one.
This is yet another slope jump we're going to perform. Perfectly done for sure.
Yep, right off the tomb.
And here we're going to skip another large room. There's these random hitboxes and like little ledges you can stand on that are splattered across the whole game, and if you know how to use your aliens and the hitboxes that you're provided with, it's actually not that hard to maneuver yourself in ways that let you skip the level.
It just takes a lot of practice, so yeah, that's it, pretty much it. Oh wait, we're in the part that has a high chance of freezing the game here, so I have to pray that does not happen. This is also one of the laggiest parts of the game as well. This outdoor area in Coliseum.
You have to find another way through.
No easy way.
And by the way, you're gonna be making use of the our friends here, who's trying to attack us by doing this. So yeah, see, using your enemies really does work in this game in some points.
And we're going to take ourselves off the streets now real quick.
Yep, onto the rooftops. We are totally supposed to be here, by the way.
If you're ever in a cop chase, just, you know, go behind 2 trash cans and turn into a bigger alien, and
Yep,
suddenly you're not there anymore.
that's the best way to escape the cops. And also soap jumping as well.
Yeah, so jumping onto a very small hitbox of that lamp lets us skip another 2 rather long fights.
Yeah.
And here is another section where we're supposed to do some climbing, and, well, the lamp is rather useful in this scenario, I must say.
And by the way, you can even skip this part as well by doing the slope jump later on, I believe. So let's hope the game doesn't freeze here.
And actually, at this point in the game, like the out of bounds that we do and this, like the fights we skip through the slope jumps, like for us they seem pretty normal, but there's actually fights in all these areas like that take like, you know, at least 20 seconds to do.
And I think each of them has like a shield, not all each of them, but like, I think most of them have like a shield guy to take on, so it's really is a
Yeah,
good
they have like
one.
a shield guy or two. It's not like all that easy, and there's like people that like should spawn here you guys don't even see. So if we wouldn't say that, you guys wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Okay, this guy is like an Avenger, okay? Like,
Yeah.
he's one of the only bosses that can definitely kill you if you're not paying attention. Even in New Game Plus, he just hits like a truck.
Yeah, and I go to die here, yep. And the reason why I died there because I didn't have enough health. When you using your abilities while he attacks to avoid the contact, you still take damage. So even if you don't do the animation, you still do damage. He does still do damage to you. So that's why I died there. And honestly, it's worth the death than just trying to dodge his attacks. So for me, that was kind of intentional death in a way, in a weird way.
Yeah, one important thing while while fighting bosses is to be able to use your abilities and time them in a way where you can hit them while they're hitting you. Slope jump up this piece of debris. It's actually one of the coolest little slope jumps and
Yeah.
little tricks.
It's like so like unobvious that you not be able to think you make use of those little pieces of debris. But it's actually kind of important.
And what's funny is the devs were like super lazy adding like, you know, collision in areas where we can clip out of bounds, but for like little pieces of rock, they're like, yeah, let's put all of our effort and energy into...
Who
Giving
knows
it a
if it'll be
hitbox.
so useful. Now this is the trick that I found out. Is one of my unexpected ones, just because it makes no sense. Although I did figure out why it did. It does just want to do it though. So I go do here, go face here, go here,
Doesn't look like there's a way.
and then if you stand here long enough, the level will deload, and it will deload the door for you as well. So that saves. Okay, I missed that. I missed that. That's just a meme. But this saves 3 minutes. One of the biggest skips in the game for sure.
Yeah, this is a huge skip, and it skips a very annoying part. So, we can also talk about the camera and why it's so important. So, the way things are loaded in this game are not because of Ben's position or where we're looking or where we are, it's all in the coordinates of the camera. Not even where it's looking. That doesn't matter. Where the camera is, its position is the most important. And if you hit the camera and put it in any sort of place that will cause level to deload or think you're in a different place, it'll do that. It'll deload levels in certain parts.
So your
without
camera,
any issues.
so your camera is pretty much the biggest like tool here when I'm speedrunning, especially when going out of bounds.
It's the sole factor of like helping us load and deload certain aspects in certain parts of the game.
Alright, so we have one of the hardest boss fights in the entire game. Normally what I have to do is Swamp Fire, but instead you can actually use Water Hazard and avoid having to use Swamp Fire, which saves so much time. And it's 20 million times easier.
Actually, Sponge has a cool comment in the Twitch chat saying, like, we stand there looking at the door so menacingly it chooses to deload.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we should have said. Actually, guys, ignore what I said in my whole explanation. We looked at the door so menacingly it chose to despawn itself.
So here I go spray him down. The thing is, though, you have to go kind of... Okay, I forgot to watch my health again. That's the second time that happened today, gee. Anyways, want to get how close as possible to him, so you could deal maximum amount of damage. Unlike what I just did there. Because how close you are with the attack, how much damage you will deal. Right now it's not going well. Oh, I know why it's not going well.
Hurry. Gotta upgrade the hazard.
Yeah, I like I said, I normally would reset the run if I don't want to have enough DNA to upgrade all my needed aliens. So that's why my water blast didn't do anything. The hard part about this boss, though, even with water hats, that he moves around, which makes it so hard to actually aim for him.
Yeah, and the skulls that are like circling him, you're supposed to get rid of them with Swamp Fire's fire, and then beat the boss down. Except we can just shoot through the shield. So.
Yeah. Alrighty, this should be the last hit.
We'll just use the enemies to gain up some of our ability bar and spend it all on...
Okay, I hope he's not invincible now. Sometimes that does happen. Oh, he's invincible right now. Sometimes when he gets a wall or something like that, he somehow can't get hit or whatever. So that's why that happened. Yeah, he's invincible. That's a very rare thing to happen. Did you even know about that, Cobra?
No, I had no idea.
Yeah, so
Could you not have just switched to Swamp Fire and took off the shield?
No, he's invincible. I have no idea why. Like, he can't get hit at all. Like, I don't understand why it happens. So yeah, you can see why this is the hardest boss in the whole entire game. He also can glitch out quite a bit, so...
Yeah, well, I'm sure he is if he just chooses to become invincible to the player.
Yeah. And there you go. It's even harder to figure out how to even defeat this guy when you first play this game. I remember when I was younger, it took me over an hour to defeat this boss. That's how hard it is. Normally. And you just saw how hard it is in the speedrun.
The boss uses a hack for like infinite mana and just chooses to spend it all on protection against water.
Pretty much.
Like, I don't know.
It is one of the last bosses, so I guess it makes kind of sense. Anyways, we are back in Tokyo. Going to take out the
assets.
evil Big Chill. Evil way big. So here, this is the final battle. So this is also Albone's heavy as well. We're gonna be doing quite a few tricks here, even ones that are not so obvious, like this fire skip here. So normally you have to rescue all these people here behind this truck, but that's kind of slow, so you just do that instead. Works very well.
But yeah, this level's very creatively named the final battle.
Yeah, very creative name. Can't think of anything better. Although I'll probably just call it Tokyo 2, to be honest. Oh, the return of the Tokyo.
But yeah, like in this level, you're like there's like these optional people you can save, and like it's not like that we're speedrunners and we choose to like leave them. Like you don't have to save them if you don't want to. You can just leave them there, and you get next to nothing for helping. So yeah.
I don't even think you get anything for helping them.
No.
So right there, just perform a very big skip, which skips a very hard fight. So that's very cool. And by the way, I'm Stormfire here because you see all the combat I'm doing. He's really good at that, so that's why I'm him. Another moon jump there. I go using this box truck to gain some insane height to get on top of that wall. It's a very cool one too. The hardest part is not letting the box truck actually block your path. But once you do that though, you can pretty much jump over this gate. And funny enough, on Reversion, you can just literally jump over the gate with just tail spin. So that's a pretty cool discovery that I made there. That was probably known already, but still. So right here is the hardest fight in the entire game for me. Because you have to deal with 2 sets of shield guys. So my goal, my strategy here is to go as close as possible and do overgrowth as close as I can to the shield guys. And you saw it there, this is actually a really good one, because if you actually pay attention, this shield guy there despawned the other shield guy. So enemies can actually despawn enemies as well if they're standing right at the part where they're going to spawn. And that's just happened there, and then I was able to like pretty much only have to deal with 1 shield guy in the second set.
And here Sponge is gonna skip going through the tunnel on the left, which he's supposed to go through by jumping over and telling the game, hey, I'm actually here, even though he didn't technically cross it.
By the way, that is why we call Humongousaur Fat Guy, because he uses fatness to literally get the touch that trigger, which activates the water hazard switch there.
Yeah, this proves to us that if you're Ooga Booga enough, anything is possible.
And this is the last puzzle until the final boss. So these things are pressure plates. You pretty much have to put the boxes onto them to open up this door. Which is like, I don't know, plated steel, something like that. Like, they are very secure doors. And there we go. We are done with the final battle. Now we're going to go into the real final battle, which is with the evil Way Big. And this is the reason why we actually collect all these pieces. Is to become, not him. This is extra big Humongousaur, which was from Bitten Alien Force as well, the last game. But as you can see, it didn't work out in this case. So what do we do instead?
Oh look, the artifact pieces we found.
Yep, there we all floating in mid-air.
Also, I'm glad you're fixing the timer on the final boss.
Yeah,
game.
it might as well. I didn't realize that piece extends out just before the screen. So that was very
guys,
funny.
Look, guys, before the run ends, we'll have it fixed, don't you worry. Oh yeah, and obviously the guy's way big, the alien, so we need to match him in a way, you know.
So don't get confused which Way Big is me or not. Spoiler alert, the red one is me. So our goal here is to simply defeat this guy and save the world from destruction.
This guy's in laser attack, but we as the Way Big, one of our special attacks, or one of our abilities rather, we are totally invincible during it, so we're gonna hit him 2 times, and then use our special ability to cancel his laser into another hit.
Yep.
And that's like the most optimal way to fight him, is 2 hits into a special to cancel his laser.
And also, when you use his left ability, it deals a lot of damage as well. So not only that you avoid the laser, you actually deal a lot of damage to him as well. So it's a win-win.
There's people on that bridge, and you walk up there like it's nothing and smack it for HP. I'm disappointed.
I mean, I need to get the health somewhere, though. All right, this is a pretty nice one. Nice final battle. Because I didn't want to. Oh my! Wait.
Well, he's just
he like can't.
he's working for us.
Yeah, like he canceled his whole animation because I got stuck in that whirlpool. That's a quite a big time save there. Wow, never had that happen to me before. And that's time. So what happened there? The final battle there. I got trapped inside a whirlpool and was able to cancel his animation. I have no idea what happened or how it happened, but hey. And this is it. Blast off to the moon. The To the Moon achievement. And there it goes. The Evil Way Bay is now gone. So in case...
GG, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for the GGs. In case you're wondering, my best time is a 1:12:12, I believe. This one was on the Mesai. I had a weak start, but a very strong ending though. So I think this kind of balances itself out actually kind of nicely. I'm like 10 minutes from estimate, but a lot of things that go wrong this run. Like you saw, just that one freeze like really loses like 3 minutes. So if the game didn't freeze there, this would have been like a 1:17.
Hey Jimmy, what's up now?
Yeah, but overall, this is I think it's a very, very interesting run for anyone that wants to maybe learn it. I'm gonna post a link in the chat to our Discord server, the Ben 10 speedrunning server. I hope Nightbot will not delete me.
Let's hope not, because you know my Nightbot in my chat
And
is
if you ever want to
strict.
go and look for it, you guys can find it on speedrun.com. In any Ben 10 game, it's the same link for our Discord. The guys are very, very helpful for any game you want to join for Ben 10. So
Yeah, so join the Discord if you're very interested in it and want to see some very very good runs and some new discoveries and some very spicy new strats, which I think Ghost showed me actually today. And there is To the Moon. To the moon you go. I think that is it. Very solid run. I'm glad to start off this marathon in a very good way with Bid and Cosmic Destruction. So I guess any last words, my commentator Cobra.
yeah, well, thank you guys very much for watching. It was very cool interacting with chat. You guys are awesome, and I wish you guys a very, very happy rest of the marathon.
Yep. Thanks for letting me on. I hope it was good, and I see you all in the next one. I don't know whether this play out or not, but see you all in the next one. Take care, and hope you enjoy the next one coming up.
Ciao, ciao.